Kat,
Yes.
in request for meeting, if I send a request to you and you respond to it, you get paid if you hit no and you get paid if you get yes. Did you know this?
I did not.
You thought you only got paid.
I'm literally married to you and did not know that.
You thought you only got paid if you take the meeting? Why?
Because you say get paid to get pitched. So pitched implies there is a meeting. You don't realize that the app, the request in itself is the pitch.
What a breakthrough. Well, people just don't get it. Request for meeting. I want to request a meeting with you. What happens if the person says no? Well, then you don't get the meeting. Well, I don't want to pay for a no. Oh, that makes a ton of sense. Let me ask you something. Would you sponsor a conference, stay at a trade show booth, pay for travel, hotel accommodations, sit there at the stand and have someone come up to you and say, I'm not a good fit? There's a huge perception issue. And we've been thinking about what can the next generation of seller do when they want to do prospecting? Why do they have to do outbound? Why do we have to interrupt people? Why does it have to be free? All these questions have been zooming in my head. Request for meeting just doesn't work anymore. We had a bunch of things that we're going to be changing with the company, and it started to make me think, what can we do to change the company name? Let's think about it for a second. If we go back to origin stories of other companies, Amazon's a really cool example. Back in the old days, the old time on the internet, we'll call it the GeoCity days, they used to have web directories instead of search engines. Amazon knew that if you go and search for book stores in the web directory category, Amazon would be first because it began with the letter A. Bezos was smart to actually name the company Amazon. And then he started thinking about this river flowing through South America and spreading out this ecosystem to build out all the jungles and the environments and all that stuff. You can do that for e-com. And he drew this parallel, and now Amazon.com is something that we just know every day and think about as a perfect web brand. I have huge ambitions for what we want to do with Request for Meeting. So we need to change our company name. Request for Meeting is too small. What I'm trying to do is make it so that a salesperson can pick any buyer that they want to sell to, attach money, and send a pitch and get the pitch reviewed by a buyer. It's almost like you have a conference that's going on all the time. And for a buyer, I want to help them pay off their bills. Everyone's always thinking, well, I want this decision maker who makes a lot of money, man. You know, the C-suite, the big corporate chopper, the person that's handing briefcases back and forth to people. That's cool. I have no problem with you doing those cool, shady 80s drug deals with those C-suite people. But the truth is, the average person that signs a contract or has major influence on a contract makes under $80,000 a year. And they have $90,000 in debt, excluding their mortgage. That's right, I'm talking to people out there with pickup trucks because you're cool and you go over rocks and stuff and do extreme stuff. And I'm talking about some of those people that bought those Taylor Swift tickets. I wanted to do that too. I don't blame you. That's probably the cool thing to do, right? Marketing teams spend so much money trying to get people's attention. And that's why we're going to be changing our company name. We need to think of something that's long-term going to fit with what we're trying to sell. We're not selling email responses or cold call responses. We're not selling a plugin that deflects and sends people away. We're not selling a marketplace for buyers and sellers. What I'm doing is I'm trying to build a place where pitching happens. Imagine a whole internet store that's not full of inventory, but full of attention for buyers. That's what I'm thinking about. How can I do that? So I spent days, weeks, months, maybe even years trying to think of a new idea. Little did I know, the new company name for years had been right behind me.